So yesterday I went to a party and I said, okay, I will buy myself a beer. So I bought like 6 beers, medium price. And in Czech Republic I could go like 2 times to like quite good restaurant, I think, for that money. So yeah, now I'm more like if you've seen the movie Martian.
Stretch the rations 4 more days is a real dick punch.
One soup for a day for lunch, and if I eat like 5 to 6 fish fingers each day, it will last me for like maybe 4 or 5 days. So like this I will survive. Right? Yeah, that's kind of funny. It's Sunday and it means hiking time. So with Adam, Carl and Marta we are going over there. And this, yeah, I had a banana, very tasty. This is our ferry. We are waiting to get on a ferry, so I'm looking forward. I've never been, no, I've been actually on a ferry, but it was a long time ago when we went to Great Britain. Carl has car here, so we drove here on the coast, and there's actually sand. Woo! How are you feeling, Marta?
Cold.
So apparently Norwegians know how to aid you if you are in trouble. Take frequent enough breaks and have enough chocolate for the entire trip. Have a wonderful night. Okay, let's seriously go. It's today 30th of August, and I'm gonna tell you what happened in last week. So it will be more talking now. So who is not here for talking, you can just skip it. But otherwise, this week was quite productive, I would say. It was very sporty, and also I had first lesson after the Sunday hike. We had AktivKampus program, which meant that every day there was several things you can choose to join them and try some activities. So if I go through it like this, what I did. So on Monday in the morning I went to the gym. I did full body workout, 90 minutes, and after that in the afternoon there was sports afternoon in the Charlotteslund, which is like sports park up there in the middle of the island. There are football pitches and some outdoor workout places, and even for the children some places to play. And we could have tried football, tennis, skateboarding. Also there was beach volleyball and stuff like that. And after that there was capture the flag, which is a quite funny game where are two teams, and the goal is to get the enemy flag from their territory back to your base territory. And you have like a tail from like a shirt from other shirt, and if the enemy on their half, if they take your tail, you are out of the game, you lost your life. So you had only one shot pretty much to get it. And actually I took the flag, so it was amazing. It was I did quite impression, I think, for the people there. But it was really game for me, just lots of fast running, changing directions of the running and stuff. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was really like nostalgic memory of our summer camp times. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. And the bad thing on it that I was running only with my shorts and low socks. So I was running over some I don't know, planties there. There could be possibly like poisonous or toxic or stuff like that. So I got I think it's called rash on like from my knees down, and it was really itchy for several days. I think it's still a little bit there, but it's healing already, so that's fine. But it's yeah, like whole week itchy legs. That wasn't nice. So that was on Monday, and on Tuesday that was quite demanding day. I took distance like 22 kilometers, but it started in the morning when I went for morning jogging with people from TSI. They usually do cross country skiing, but there is no when it's not snow here. They do just running, and we ran like 8 kilometers. And for me, or maybe less, but for me, before I got there and got back here in my house, it was like 10 kilometers like before the breakfast, so really fat killer. And yeah, after that in the afternoon there was also like in the class sports center there was like event where you could also try another sports like handball, again basketball, volleyball, football, floorball, also climbing, some I think there was also like some fight, like martial arts sports like judo, aikido, boxing and stuff. So you could get some info, and I probably go to some of these teams to try out the sports. So it was really good. So I went there again and back, and in the evening I also went back there to the Sportscraft Center to play ultimate frisbee, which was really nice because we were only 4, so we could really do like really good practices and drills, and they really helped me improve my throwing ability, so it was really fun. So now I'm on the way back to the house, but I was on the boot camp and they were promoting like most of the activities that we can go to here, like sports like football, futsal, floorball, volleyball and stuff, also ultimate frisbee, and I would love to join like most of them, but depends on the time, of course. Yeah, and another great thing is that they have free food. So I have a burger now, and also as you can see on the video, I had a waffle with strawberry jam and brown cheese, which is like their like specialty here. And I know it sounds strange and it's even worse looking, but it was actually really delicious. So that's what this week is about. I'm trying all the activities I can. Yesterday we played the capture the flag, which I got one, and I'm like, everybody was like, oh, you are so fast. I was like, yeah, thank you. And one more interesting thing, e-bikes. There is like so many e-bikes, electro bikes, I mean. Yeah, like I understand because there are like quite steep hills, but still it's like quite astonishing how many of them are riding the electronic bikes there. Like really very rarely you see someone on a normal bike here. And one of the biggest quests here I would like to accomplish is to prepare my thesis, which would be something about comparing the Czech and Norwegian education system. Currently I'm coming from the craft sports center again, 3rd time today. And I ate my banana. That's the message. No. I went to the Frisbee Ultimate training, and wow, it was something, really. I really enjoyed it. And on Wednesday, I went for, in the afternoon, there were some like relay races, so we did just some fun activities like jumping in the bag and like you had to have run with the potato on the spoon, or it was like, yeah, something like that. So it was just for fun. And after that I went for a football, which I played like, I don't know, 1 hour or stuff, so it was really nice. Also I ran many kilometers, more than 10 for sure. And then there was a Thursday, which I went again for the morning jogging. It was different organization. It was from the Craft Sport Center directly, the people from there. So we were only 4, but still we ran pretty nicely, slowly morning jogging for, it was like again 6-7 kilometers. but with the route there and back from my house, it was again 10 kilometers in the morning before everything else. And yeah, in the evening we went for swimming classes actually, and in like 1 hour and a half we had like a whole methodics on crawling, and it was really effective. I have a picture of it, how it went, and it really helped me. Like in one lesson I learned so much actually. I did so many mistakes. Maybe I forgot, or maybe they didn't teach us well, I don't know. But yeah, it was also nice, and I was totally dead in the evening of course, after swimming, like always. Good morning, it's 8 a.m. 26th of August, and you know what that means. Tomorrow I have the first lesson. Woohoo! Yeah, and another thing, I just finished the morning jogging, and believe me, if you go twice a week like this without breakfast, it's a real fat killer. I'm so dead, my feet hurt, but it was worth it for sure. And they gave me banana and smoothie.
Y el invierno aquí es muy largo. Es mucho tiempo quedarse en casa. Y yo no quiero eso.
Není právě.
Biatlon, no. Střelnici na střílení. Já vlastně můžu jít tam tudy, ale...
Na bazéně.
Co?
Na bazéně. Já jsem mu říkala, že aby mi přivezl nějakou flasku.
And yeah, then the Friday, which in the morning I went for a morning workout. It was like a CrossFit style, something like that. In 45 minutes we did lots of squats, lots of I don't know, push-ups and stuff like that, and yeah, we moved a lot, and really my butt cheeks were actually really painful after that. So that was in the morning, and in the afternoon or in the evening we went with the Czech folks again to play mini golf here in the city center. I have lots of videos from that, so I think I will put it into this video for sure. It was really fun. I ended up second place, but it didn't really matter. We had really good time, and yeah, a little bit of chill in the evening. Bomba. Za kolik?
124.
85. 85. Pane? Tak to bych se švihnul, kdyby to... Hi. So as you can see, we have a mini break in our session today because of fire alarm.
Yay.
Yeah, we were already exhausted, so it's really handy. Very well. We have a beer. We are happy. So yeah. No fire.
Vůbec máme na co koukat. Co?
Požární bobla. Co budeš dělat, Vláďo? Já se asi napiju. Ty vole. Hezky.
Zase si mi na začátku mám dobrý a na konci to jde dobře.
Jo.
Tak dobrá.
Ladi!
Skoro. Co je? Cože?
Welcome to Plinko. Ano.
Já nevím, kam to spadlo. To byla jednička.
Plinko.
Na čtvrtém místě, ano, na čtvrtém místě se umístila Lada.
S kolika bodíkama, hej!
S bodama 77.
Hezký.
Na třetím místě se umístila Helča s bodama 70. Na druhém místě se umístil Vláďa s bodama 61 a na prvním místě Ani s 55 bodama.
Hezký, gratulujeme, pěkná práce.
Výborně. Hezká.
Tak řekni něco závěrečného k tomuto, jak jsi spokojená se svým výsledkem? Očekávala jsi to, nebo to bylo překvapení?
Ne, vůbec jsem to nečekala.
And then the grand finale of this week was the weekend. So on Saturday, I went on a orientational running slash cycling for me, but the point of the race was that we got a paper with geo coordinates, and we put them all in the Google and found out the places where are the like letters with numbers. So we had to go. It was almost around like the half of the island here, and it took us really like 3 hours or something like that to go, and it was like 16 kilometers. I ran, and I did it with my friend from France, Hugo, and he was on a bike, so sometimes we just changed, but most of the time I was running, and we got all the controls. That was really nice. And after that there was a challenge to make a bonfire. So yeah, we did it quite fast. It was nice, but we didn't have any axes or just knife. So when I was preparing the wood with the knife, I hit myself with the wood, so I don't know if it's visible, but my nail is really blue and painful now. but it's nothing really serious, so that's good. And also my Achilles is quite painful from the running, but I think it's just because of the shoes, so now it's not soring at all. So that was really demanding afternoon, and yeah, we ended up second because we lost in the like small finale, because it was split decision. We had split same points as girls, and we had to run down the hill, and I just messed up, so you are second place, so that was also good. And yesterday on Sunday, there was like the tough test, or fear factor as they called it sometimes, I don't know, but it was 6 disciplines, and I did it also with another French guy, really nice guy, Manuel. And the first one was like CrossFit challenge. We had to do 100 squats, 100 push-ups, then 100 like this. I don't know how it's called in English, that you go like this and down, of course, and 100 sit-ups, and we can like change together. So I did 20, then he did 20 and stuff like that. And between the series we had to do 5 burpees always together, and the last exercise was 100 burpees again. So I did a little bit more than him because he wasn't so strong on the hands, but otherwise we did it quite fast. We were in the top. Then there was exercise we had to Manuel had to balance on the bossu. This is the half ball. And we have to throw each other the egg between each other. And that was the second exercise. Third exercise was rolling up the really huge tire. I think it was from a like tractor or stuff like that, or maybe lorry. And it was really difficult. And it was like 50 meters up the hill. So yeah, it was not really our discipline because we are not like build up. We are more like running types. And after that there was like contest to stay as long as possible. We had to stay like this with hands up and palms up too, and as long as possible. It looks easy, but it's not really. And after that there was a running contest, which was really our discipline. I think we performed really well, and we had to run like 250 meters to get a piece of puzzle. There was 10 parts, and then run 250 back, and it was over the swamp there, which is, they sometimes do it, to run over the swamp, and it's really difficult. It's like running in water actually. So yeah, like everything hurts from that. But we finished like third, so that was really nice. And the last part was like a fear factor discipline, which one of the pair have to put arm where like blindfolded to somewhere, and by feeling it, just to know what was that, and the other one had to taste something. So yeah, it was quite difficult, but I got 4 or 5. I just didn't catch the coffee. I thought it was like a soil or sand, but it was actually coffee. And yeah, that was that. And yeah, there was one fish, I like half of the fish, and I was like, like squeezing it, and my I think my hand still smells from it, so that was also funny. Yeah, so but it was really fun, and I really enjoyed it, but really it was really difficult. And after the whole week it just finished me. So yeah, that was my week. It was very active, I think. I did many things. I met lots of people, really nice people here. That's what really made me happy. And today I am just cleaning all the mess. So as you can see, I did lots of washing. Yeah, this is my cutlery and stuff. Yep. And here I made this cover on the fridge, so I will put all the food here and stuff. And I also made these separate bags for the different waste. This is like organic waste, like food and stuff like that. This is plastic, of course. This is paper, the red one. The orange one is like from milk and juices. Is it cartons. That's how it's called. Because they will, and this is for the rest, of course. Yeah, because they separate things, but not like in Czech Republic, because we have like big containers for each thing, for plastics and stuff. But here you put it like in the one container, except the glasses and cans, and they will separate it depending on the bags. Like they will put it like everything together, and then the blue bags will go to plastic and stuff like that. So it depends on the bags, but yeah, it's I think it's working. Why not? If the people are used to it. So yeah, and I washed the floor in bathroom, in kitchen, and here I just brew it. And also I like smashed the carpet so it's cleaner and not so dusty, but because it was very dusty. I think nobody did it like in 10 years or maybe more.